Thank you for joining us here on Republic at 7 p.m. on This Is Exclusive. We're putting our focus on the big story from Pakistan. There's been a suicide blast in Peshawar. Is it the war between Pakistan and Afghanistan escalating? Is that a sign? The suicide blast at Peshawar, we have some big breaking details coming in, exclusive details on the show. Here are the headlines. Pakistan cleric Hamidul Haq killed in a blast at a pro-Taliban seminary. All-out Taliban versus Pakistan fight intensifying. Is Pakistan now officially targeting the Haqqani network, one of the strongest backbones of the Taliban, targeted in Peshawar? Greece has come to a complete standstill, protesters taking to the streets on the second anniversary of the country's deadliest railway mishap that claimed 57 lives.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी को ये लगता है कि ये देश लोकतंत्र से नहीं, संविधान से नहीं, ये देश तानाशाही से चलता है, लेकिन हम इस तानाशाही को स्वीकार नहीं करेंगे।
Delhi government tables CAG report on health department policies. BJP says APTA government has done nothing but loot taxpayer money. And Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin escalates the attack against centre on the language controversy, says forcing a third language in schools is an unnecessary move. All right, getting in some details. In fact, this is a breaking story on Republic TV, and our reporter in Pakistan, Kaswar, breaking some details. There was an explosion, a blast at the University of Jihad, what is called a University of Jihad in Pakistan. And we are now checking if Sirajuddin Haqqani was one of those present inside that university. Is it a shadow war between Taliban and Pakistan as Pakistan goes after Taliban network? Let me go across first up to Kaswar, our correspondent, joining us. Before that, as he joins us, the seminary, the suicide blast. These are the pictures that came in. Suicide blast after the Friday prayers, targeting Hamidul Haq Haqqani, according to Zulfikar Hamid, the provincial police chief. There are more than 20 people injured in the blast, and the latest number saying at least 8 to 10 have been killed. These are the pictures that came in as the police cordoned off the area for investigation. Witnesses reported that a section of this particular mosque, called the University of Jihad, referred to as the University of Jihad, was damaged by the suicide blast. Maulana Haq, a former lawmaker, had led Jamiat Ulema-e-Islam Sami after the assassination of his father, Maulana Samiul Haq, in 2018. Now, the elder Haq, often referred to as the father of the Taliban, was a staunch supporter of the Afghan Taliban, founded the Darul Uloom Haqqaniya, one of the most influential Islamic seminaries in Pakistan. Now, this madrasa itself, where the suicide blast has taken place, was established in 1947 by Maulana Abdul Haq Haqqani, has long been controversial. Allegations that some of its students were linked to the 2007 assassination of former Pakistan Prime Minister Benazir Bhutto. Let me go across to Kaswar, joining us live from Pakistan. Kaswar, tell us about who has been killed. We are hearing that a senior cleric has been killed linked to the Haqqani network. Why are there reports or suspicions of Sirajuddin Haqqani also being there?
Well, you have rightly pointed out that it was a suicide blast that occurred right in the first line of the Haqqaniya mosque. And according to my information, the prime target of this suicide attack was actually the Haqqani, the chief cleric of incumbent chief cleric of Jamia Haqqani, that is situated in the heart of Peshawar. It was a huge bomb blast, and according to official, the sources, the death toll has exceeded by 10 to 16 as well. But definitely, we will have to rely on the official numbers that are said to be 7, and dozens have been injured as well. And let me tell you that this mosque have actually been regarded across the globe as a nursery of Taliban as well. But so far, no group has claimed this responsibility. But what we are getting from our sources from different quarters is that the prime target was the chief cleric, and who have been perished as a result of this suicide attack.
Well, stay with me. I want to go across. Is this a shadow war? Let me ask you, Kaswar. It's a suicide blast. And we know that the Taliban has been at loggerheads with the Pakistan government. Is this a shadow war, an escalation in the fight between Pakistan and Afghanistan?
Well, there is no denial that the Pakistani government and the Taliban government of Afghanistan, they have locked horns for several months. There is no denying. And the fact is that the both governments have locked horns for a long time. And we all know that in Pakistan, there have been celebration in Pakistan soon after Taliban came into power. But fact is that after the current came into power, the incumbent government have locked horns with them. And the fact is that. And on the other hand, but according to my sources, Taliban cannot go to an extent to send suicide bombers to a mosque which had been regarded as their nursery. So Taliban do not seem to have role in this bombing forfeit. But regarding your question, that is the fact that the two governments in Pakistan and Afghanistan, they are still locking horns on different issues as well. And there have been cross-border attacks from the both sides as well, that we all know.
Yeah. Now I have another breaking news update. Stay with me right now. Kaswar, stay with me. I have another breaking news update, getting those details in as well. There is a senior cleric, Haqqani, who has been killed. We have details and a suspicion now that perhaps an Afghan minister was also present. Was a Taliban minister also present? Our focus is on whether Sirajuddin Haqqani was also there. At least 5 people have been killed at a suicide blast at this University of Jihad. It's called the University of Jihad, Jamia Darul Uloom Haqqaniya. It's the fountainhead of Taliban. Among the deceased was Maulana Hamidul Haq Haqqani. Hamidul Haq Haqqani is a political leader, a religious scholar. He's the son of prominent Pakistani cleric Samiul Haq Haqqani, called the father of Taliban. And after his father's assassination in 2018, he took over the position of the vice-chancellor at what is now called the University of Jihad. Kaswar, do we have a confirmation from Afghanistan whether Sirajuddin Haqqani was there? Now, after this blast was reported, any details on the whereabouts of Sirajuddin Haqqani? Because if he was present at this University of Jihad, perhaps he was a target.
Well, according to sources, there have been, the Taliban leaders that have been attending the sermons at this mosque periodically. But regarding your question about Sirajuddin Haqqani, my sources did not confirm it. But the fact is that they have been, visiting this Jamia Haqqaniya for a long time ago, because we all know that it has been regarded as the nursery of the Taliban. And let me tell you that you have just asked a question that whether the government in Pakistan and Afghanistan, the terms about a question about the terms of these two governments as well. And I told you that they have been locking horns. And the update is that led by this Haqqani, a powerful delegation from this Jamia Haqqaniya had actually traveled to Kabul just to make sure that the two sides must negotiate on certain issues and they just try to make the relationship normal between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So I have got confirmation that the chief cleric who have been assassinated today, he was the one who was leading the delegation just to make sure the two governments in Pakistan and Afghanistan make their relationship normal. And today we heard that he has been assassinated. So the fact is that he was a celebrated religious scholar, not only in Pakistan, but also in Afghanistan as well. But so far, we don't know who was, which organization actually carried out this suicide bombing. But fact is that he was involved in bringing the relationship between Pakistan and Afghanistan normal.
Stay with me, Kaswar. Stay with me because I want to once talk about Sirajuddin Haqqani. A lot of reports, even in Pakistan, checking whether Sirajuddin Haqqani was actually there. I have Pathikrit Payne also joining us, geostrategic affairs expert. Now, was Sirajuddin Haqqani there? That's the question. He's a critical man to the Haqqani network, has led the Haqqani network. He's also Taliban's interior minister. Do you think he was the target, Pathikrit? Could he have been the target?
Niranjan, we have to understand one thing. The potential hatred that Pakistan establishment today has for the Haqqani network is because the Haqqani network was one on which Pakistan was banking that as and when they come to power in Taliban in Afghanistan, Haqqanis will facilitate the takeover of Afghanistan by Pakistan. That did not happen. So invariably, whatever is happening today in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, in fact, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is the base of a TTP. Invariably, they blame Haqqanis for the entire animosity that exists today between Pakistan and the Taliban run Afghanistan. So I think this seminary was one of the crucial organizations which has been giving the religious, justification, giving the push towards this, anti-Pakistan sentiment that has been growing, spawning, which you can easily see even in an Afghanistan-Pakistan match, to the cricket match any day. So yes, the potential possibility of Sirajuddin Haqqani being one of the prime targets cannot be ruled out. And I can assure you two things. Tomorrow there will be a statement by the Afghan government where they will either blame ISIS or directly the Pakistan government, and they have been saying it for quite some time, that it is the ISIS today which has the backing of Pakistan to destabilize Afghanistan. And this might trigger what happened today. If Sirajuddin Haqqani was present, this would trigger a massive retribution by TTP and Taliban itself, not just in the scale of a full-fledged war, but also major terror attacks possibly across several cities of Pakistan. And let me tell you, if you look at the modus operandi of what happened today, the possibility of ISIS doing it backed by Pakistan, where Pakistan can have a plausible deniability, excuse, remains very high. Sirajuddin Haqqani can be a potential target, could have been, because the Haqqanis have absolute easy access into that province of Pakistan from Afghanistan. So they keep on coming, and the stranglehold or the control or the dominance of the Pakistani security establishment in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa as such is very, very nominal. They never stop these guys from coming because they know the consequence. So if there is if he had been one of those assassinated today, then I think bad days are coming for Pakistan, even worse is rather. And that's why you see Pakistani establishment has been very quick in terms of condemning it, that, oh, this should not have happened, this is bad, we condemn terrorism, because they know that while it has been done by the establishment itself, they know what happens if they took the onus on themselves. So invariably, I think Taliban knows what happened today, and they will hit back sooner than later. Back to you, Niranjan.
Another breaking news input here. I want to go across to both. I'll take this breaking news input and go across to both Kaswar and Pathikrit Payne. It's very interesting. It's getting more and more interesting because Sirajuddin Haqqani was also on the FBI wanted list. Sirajuddin Haqqani was on the FBI wanted list. So does that mean that Pakistan perhaps trying to target Haqqani to please America or to get closer to America, given how unpopular they are now with the Trump regime? That's another thing we need to look at very closely. Pathikrit.
Niranjan, you have asked a very, very smart question. I'll tell you the reason. It was the Americans which coined the term good terrorists and bad terrorists, and for them the Haqqanis were the good terrorists. They negotiated with the Haqqanis primarily in Qatar to hand over power to Taliban. Given the precarious condition of Pakistan today, it would not be surprising. It would not be surprising if they had orchestrated this through a third party, possibly ISIS, to actually show to the American US establishment and probably Trump that, look, we are the ones who did it. But the catch-22 situation for Pakistan is this, that if they acknowledge that we have done it, even if discreetly, indirectly, invariably the Taliban will come to know about it. And I'm sure by now Taliban knows what has happened, because highly unlikely of TTP doing something like this. This is one of the motherboard of TTP, of this seminary. So in that case, if it tries to be in the good book of Trump administration, it would face the same backlash from Taliban as it faced in post 2001 9/11 terror attack, when Pakistan, while mentoring Taliban for a long period of time, then went and started killing Taliban on behest of United States. So it is a critical catch-22 situation. I don't think Trump will give them money just because they have done it. But I think it will create more problem for Pakistan, because if they have done it, invariably there will be massive retribution. So I think your question is valid. Possibility cannot be ruled out. It is relatively easier for Pakistan to do something like this within Khyber Pakhtunkhwa than perhaps in Afghanistan itself. This can be a possibility, but the consequence will be dangerous, and I think Pakistan knows it very well. Back to you.
Okay, I'm checking with Kaswar as well. Kaswar, can you tell us more about the fallout between the Haqqanis? And of course, at one point, they were very close to the Pakistan establishment as well. They worked closely with the Pakistan establishment and were the extended terror arm of the Pakistan government at one point. Tell us a little bit more about the fallout.
Well, Niranjan, one thing is for sure that I can tell you at the moment is that Haqqani network has been a great asset for Pakistan for a long time. Even before the arrival of allied forces led by Americans in Afghanistan as well. Haqqani have been there, and they had been getting support from Pakistan from time to time, whenever, regardless of which party have been ruling here. One thing. So, and according to my sources, they just told me that there is no possibility of Sirajuddin Haqqani at present when the bomb occurred today in Jamia Haqqani. But regarding your question, definitely, in case, if suppose Haqqani was there and he was the chief target, but nobody knows what happened to him, first thing. And also, even the international media is spreading the rumors about his assassination. But so far, if he is there, safe in Afghanistan, but still no statement coming out on his behalf from any quarter. So your question is really very smart. But is Pakistan's chief supporter right now in Afghanistan government, if something bad happened to him, and that too in Pakistan, it means it has consequences, and Pakistani government cannot afford, Pakistan establishment cannot afford to lose an asset like Sirajuddin Haqqani as well, because this network is the only one Pakistani government has been in touch with for a long time, and they are still insisting Pakistan establishment there in Kabul as well. So if in case something bad happened to him, it means it is a bad day for Pakistani establishment.
Thank you for joining us with those inputs, Kaswar, and Patikrit for joining us on This Is Exclusive. Was Sirajuddin Haqqani there? Has he been killed? That's the question. What a time to be observing the turn of events in Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Suicide blast in Pakistan. Was a Taliban minister also present there in Peshawar? It's getting very interesting. That's it on this edition of This Is Exclusive. 3-week debates coming up with Arnab at 9 p.m. Thanks for watching.